It's time for us to become rocket scientists and use what we've learned about momentum and Newton's third law to understand rocket propulsion. Now, ordinary vehicles like a car or a bicycle travel by using friction. Friction between the wheels and the ground creates this Newton's third law force pair where the wheels push backwards on the ground, and by Newton's third law, the ground pushes forward on the wheels so the vehicle moves. But a rocket in outer space has nothing to push against. Space is a vacuum. There's nothing you can push on. So we need to figure out what to push so that we can move our rocket. Let's draw a simple model of a rocket engine to see what's going on. First, let's consider a closed chamber where we have some explosion going on. So we ignite some explosive gas, and that gas expands and creates a force, pushing in all directions on this chamber. Now, if you look at all these force vectors from the expanding gas, they all add up to give you zero net force. It's like trying to lift yourself off the ground by pulling on your own belt. The sum of all these forces is zero. That's not going to go anywhere. But let's take a chamber and open up a hole in it and have some sort of explosion. Now, gas can escape out of the bottom of that. And you can apply a force to this gas, and by Newton's third law, that gas is going to apply a force of the same magnitude in this upward direction on our chamber, on our rocket. So now the sum of these forces on this chamber is not zero. It is going to be a net upward force. Now, rockets were developed in the early 1900s. Robert Goddard was the pioneer of rocket design, and at the time people weren't totally convinced that rockets would actually work. In fact, there was a famous New York Times article in which the author said that rockets would never go anywhere in space because they have nothing to push against. But of course, we know that's not true. We know rockets work. They do have something to push against. They're pushing against the gas that they're expelling. So let's develop a simple mathematical analysis of rocket motion. To do this more completely, we need to use calculus, and in fact, I'm going to do one step that requires calculus, but we can do a pretty good job without using any calculus and just using our knowledge of momentum and Newton's third law.